How good to know of Shabbos this week's Parsha is Parshas Yisro. In Parshas Yisro we have Matan Torah. Finally, the culmination of Klal Yisrael's long journey out of Mitzrayim. It finally culminates in them getting the Torah on Har Sinai. And before Matan Torah, before that happens, Hashem commands Moshe to give a message to Bnei Yisrael, and the pasuk says, "Atem re'isem asher asisi leMitzrayim." You saw what I did to Mitzrayim. Va'esa eschem al kanfei nesharm. I'll carry you on the wings of eagles. Va'avi eschem elai, and bring you to me. I carried you on the wings of eagles and brought you toward me. So there's a very famous Rashi here. Rashi says al kanfei nesharm, and he explains why on eagle's wings, why on the wings of eagles specifically. So very famously, Rashi tells us because an eagle puts its children on its back. Most birds, they carry them with their claws from underneath, and that's because they're scared of other birds coming from on top and damaging their kids. But an eagle flies higher than any other bird, and therefore it's not afraid of any birds on top. It's only afraid of arrows coming from the bottom. So it puts its young on its back. So too, Hashem says, so too I will protect you from the Mitzrayim. That's what Rashi says. I'll also do that because the Mitzrayim were throwing arrows, and the Anan was able to absorb the arrows that were being thrown at Klal Yisrael. That's the Rashi, very famous Rashi. But the Chedushei Harim explains beautiful. I saw from Goldberg, he brings this Chedushei Harim. He explains a little bit of a deeper meaning in this. And he says that what it means is Hashem is protecting us not only from the actual arrows of the Mitzrayim. The Medrash says that as Bnei Yisrael stood, they were trapped by the Yam Suf, by the sea. The Malachim were telling the Rebbeinu Shalom, why are you giving the Torah to Bnei Yisrael? Why are you giving them the Torah? They're Oivei Avodah Zarah. They served Avodah Zarah. They were on the Memtes Shari Tama, all the terrible things that they did. They're coming from such a horrible place, and you're giving them the Torah? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to them? So the Chedushei Harim says that what this Rashi is telling us is that Hashem protected us from those arrows too, those metaphorical arrows that the Malachei Hasharus were throwing to try to knock down Klal Yisrael. Hashem protected us from that, and that's the Chedushei Harim says. That's why Hashem tells us in the next pasuk, "V'ata," and now im shemaya tishmu b'kol. If you listen to me, shmartem es brisi, v'yisam li segul mikol ha'amim ki li kol arts. Then don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. The Chedushei Harim says, "V'ata," now. What are you doing now? That's what counts. Don't worry about what happened before. Don't worry about that you did Avodah Zarah, and it's such a great lesson to all of us. Don't worry about what was before. Don't worry about what you did or what you didn't do. Hashem doesn't care about that. Hashem cares about the V'ata. Hashem cares about what are you doing now? What are you going to try to accomplish now? What are you being makabel on yourself now? He doesn't care what happened before. He wants to know what you're doing now. A person should never feel like they're not worthy, chas v'shalom, of Hashem's love or of being as part of Klal Yisrael. Hashem declares here that He protects us from these arrows. He protects us from these arrows of these questions that we have regarding our worthiness. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened this morning. It doesn't matter what happened an hour ago. V'ata, now. What happens now? What are you deciding to do now? That's what Hashem cares about. So let's all be zeicha to live in the V'ata, to live in the now. Have a good Shabbos.